Good morning, Cullman. Thank you for joining us on Cullman Today. I'm your host, Christine Wiggins, and today is Monday, January 26th. Coming up on Cullman Today, before you head out, we have some weather-related closures to share. Plus, Congressman Robert Aderholt says 2 major projects could see new federal funding, and Cullman City school leaders recognize top teachers and approve new student support contracts at their latest board meeting. All this plus sports, weather, and more. Now let's take a closer look at the top stories happening in Cullman today. As winter weather concerns continue across Cullman County, here's a quick look at closings and delays for today. Cullman County Schools and Cullman City Schools will be closed, with after-school activities canceled. Cullman Christian School and St. Bernard Preparatory School are also closed. Wallace State Community College will have no classes and no evening activities. Cullman County courts are delaying jury duty until Wednesday, January 28th. Cullman County offices will be closed and sanitation will run on a one-day delay. Congressman Robert Aderholt announced 2 major federal funding awards for Cullman County projects, including in fiscal year 2026 appropriations bills passed by the U.S. House of Representatives. Aderholt said $13.5 million was secured for the Highway 278 St. Bernard Bridge replacement and supporting infrastructure work in Cullman. Plans include replacing the aging bridge, widening roadway approaches, and adding pedestrian and biking lanes to improve safety, traffic flow, and connectivity. Aderholt also announced $2.5 million for Wallace State Community College's Lions Village project in Hanceville. The funding is expected to support construction of a tiny home village with micro-dwellings for student families, along with an on-campus child care facility. Aderholt's office said the 2 projects are part of a larger package of community-focused investments for Alabama's 4th congressional district, totaling more than $56 million. The appropriations package has passed the House and now heads to the U.S. Senate, where it is expected to receive final approval before being signed into law. The Cullman City School Board recognized educators, approved contracts, and reviewed personnel items during its most recent regular meeting. The board honored new National Board certified teachers, including Nicole Heppenstall, Lauren Heatherly, Hannah Hunt, and Taylor Davis, who earned certifications in literacy, and Tasha Mayer, who earned certification as a library media specialist. Board members also named Lacey Cameron of East Elementary School as Elementary Teacher of the Year, and Michelle Greenlee of Cullman High School as Secondary Teacher of the Year. The board approved an interagency agreement with Wellstone Incorporated to provide outpatient and crisis mental health treatment for students from January through July of this year. An independent contractor agreement with Howard Autism Learning Center, LLC, was also approved to support behavioral and educational programs through August. On the consent agenda, the board approved disposal of surplus music and art textbooks and obsolete handheld radios, along with spring semester athletic and fine arts travel for Cullman High School students. The board approved the retirement of West Elementary teacher Sharon Hollingsworth and conditional employment for Samuel Mazzara and Logan Young in special education roles, along with coaching supplements, long-term substitute appointments, leaves of absence, and an extended day contract for Katie Smith. The next regular meeting is scheduled for February 17th at 5 p.m. at East Elementary School. And that's all for our top stories this morning. Coming up, county tournament hardware is being handed out. We've got champions crowned and big performances as the brackets hit the finish line. Sports is next. Welcome back. Championship Friday brought the Cullman County basketball tournament to a head with trophies on the line and local teams battling for bragging rights. Cold Springs claimed the 2026 Cullman County JV girls title Friday, rolling past Holly Pond 66-34. The Lady Eagles blitzed out to a 15-0 start and never looked back, as Hagan Ellis poured in 27 points and fueled the pull-away with her defense. Holly Pond made a push late in the first half, but Cold Springs kept control and closed strong to lift the trophy. In the JV Boys Championship, top-seeded West Point used a dominant second quarter to pull away from Good Hope and win 46-21. After a defensive first quarter, the Warriors outscored the Raiders 17-2 in the second period to take command. Trip Dingler led West Point with 14 points, Tice Thompson added 13, and Rush Lamar scored 10. Good Hope was led by Webb Buchanan with 13. After the JV teams wrapped, it was time for the varsity teams to take the floor with the county titles on the line. In the varsity girls title game, West Point held off Good Hope in a tense finish, surviving the final possession to clinch the championship 53-50. The Lady Raiders trimmed a double-digit deficit to 1 late and had to look at the buzzer but couldn't get the tying shot to fall. Cameron Faulkner paced West Point with 18 points, while Ella Gossett led Good Hope with 14. And West Point captured its first varsity boys county title since 2012, knocking off Cold Springs 51-38 in the championship game. After a low-scoring start, the Warriors' defense took over in the second quarter, holding the Eagles to just one field goal and building a 20-12 halftime lead. West Point pushed the margin to double digits in the third and never let Cold Springs get closer than 13 late. Maddox Chapman led the Warriors with 13 points, Jackson Shelton added 12, and Nolan Franklin finished with 11. Cold Springs was led by Ethan Day with 10 points. We have full recaps, highlights, and more at CullmanTribune.com. And that wraps up sports for today. Coming up next, North Alabama Agriplex is bringing in Alabama author Heather Morris for a series of kid-friendly classes. Plus 40 Farms is planning an Alabama Tulip Festival. Welcome back. Now it's time to speed things up with a news rundown. 4 stories in under 4 minutes. North Alabama Agriplex will host Alabama children's author Heather C. Morris for 3 classes in mid-February. On Friday, February 13th, Morris will meet with Heritage Homeschool Elementary students from 9 to 11 a.m. for Trunk Goes Thunk, focusing on her picture book, Opposites in Nature and Using the 5 Senses. Later that day, from noon to 2 p.m., she'll lead Science Meets Story for Heritage Homeschool Secondary students, sharing her background as a research scientist and how science connects with storytelling. On Saturday, February 14th, Farm Kids Club welcomes children ages 5 and up from 10 to 11:30 a.m. for I Love Animals, a Valentine-themed class. Families interested in attending can register at agriplex.org. Restoring Women Outreach, a Cullman-based program serving women since 2011, has announced plans for its 6th sober living home. Founder and Executive Director Carol Berry said the new home will provide safe, structured housing for women recovering from substance use disorder. The home will be called the CJ House, named in memory of Berry's daughter. She said the organization recently closed on the house, has begun updates, and expects it to be ready for residents in about 5 weeks. RWO serves adults who are already sober and offers more than housing, including life skills training, transportation assistance, GED and career support, and help with family restoration. Barry said the sixth home was made possible through support from the Cullman community, including donors, churches, businesses, civic groups, partner nonprofits, and volunteers. She also noted a $20,000 anonymous gift made in honor of Gary Holland helped make the purchase possible. RWO is still seeking community support for renovations and furnishings. For information or to donate, call 256-727-6531 or visit restoringwomenoutreach.org. Cullman County's 4D Farm is adding tulip fields and planning an Alabama Tulip Festival this spring. Owner Beth Daniels said they're aiming to open the second week of March, but bloom timing will depend on the weather. Updates will be posted on the farm's Facebook page. Online admission is $13.95 on weekdays and $17.95 on weekends, including access to the tulip fields, photo ops, and farm attractions. Daniel said all attractions are open on weekends, while some features, like mechanical rides and tubing slides, will be weekend only. The Alabama Tulip Festival will run in March while the tulips are blooming, open daily from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Bunny Patch and Easter activities are also scheduled for March 28th and 29th and April 3rd and 4th. Flower picking will be available with tulips priced at $2 per stem. 4D Farm is located at 7066 County Road 703 in Cullman. More information is at 4dfamilyfarm.com. United Way of Cullman County is opening its annual allocations process, inviting eligible local nonprofits to apply for funding for the upcoming cycle. United Way says the process is community guided, with local volunteers reviewing applications, evaluating needs, and recommending how campaign dollars should be invested back into Cullman County. The goal is to support programs that strengthen the community and help individuals and families thrive. Funding decisions are guided by 4 focus areas: healthy community, youth opportunity, financial security, and community resiliency. Allocation applications are now open, and the deadline to apply is Friday, February 20th at 4:30 p.m. United Way says late applications cannot be considered. Nonprofits serving Cullman County can get more information by emailing tjohnson@uwaycc.org or visiting uwaycc.org. And that's your 4 stories in under 4 minutes. Now for a quick break before we look at the weather ahead and pay our respects with obituaries. I'll be right back after this quick message. Let's take a moment to pause and remember those who lost their lives this week. Terry Sue Dye, 68 of Hanceville, passed away Saturday, January 17th. Visitation will be Wednesday, January 28th from noon to 2 p.m. at Hanceville Funeral Home. Funeral service will follow at 2 p.m. at the funeral home with burial at Fairview West Cemetery. Sandra Beeler Clark passed away Friday, January 23rd. A graveside service will be held Wednesday, January 28th at 11 a.m. at Ebenezer Cemetery. Our thoughts and prayers go out to their friends and families. Now, let's take a look at your weather forecast. Today starts out mostly cloudy, but will gradually clear out and turn sunny. It will stay very cold with a high near 30 and wind chills running between about 3 and 13 degrees. North-northwest winds around 10 miles per hour and will gust up to 25. Monday night turns mostly clear and frigid with a low around 9 degrees. Winds ease up and go nearly calm. Tuesday looks brighter and a bit warmer, sunny with a high near 39 and a light breeze. Tuesday night will be partly cloudy with a low around 18. And that wraps up today's edition of Cullman Today. Thank you for sharing your morning with us, and remember to stay connected by following us on social media and visiting CullmanTribune.com for the latest from our community. We'll be back bright and early tomorrow morning at 6:30 a.m. Until then, I'm Christine Wiggins with Cullman Today. Have a wonderful day, Cullman.